Yes, now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Thomas Rants YouTube channel. Let's talk Smackdown. AJ Lee is back. I'm cutting out the bullshit. I'm not talking about nothing on the mid-card just yet. AJ Lee is back. It's what we've been waiting for. We said it on Monday Night Raw when Becky Lynch was slapping the shit out of CM Punk, which I still kind of feel like was pointless because she could have just returned on Monday, but I get it. They were saving it for Chicago. I said in my last video, I don't understand why everyone's banging on about Friday Night SmackDown, but now I understand. It was in Chicago. It was written in the stars. CM Punk was going to be there. It was time for AJ Lee to come back, and we predicted it back at the Rumble. We said, well, I said anyway, AJ Lee might come back in the Rumble. Didn't happen. And I don't even know what's motivated AJ Lee to get back, because from my understanding, since she left WWE 10 years ago, she's not went anywhere else. She's not continued wrestling. I don't even know what she's done, right? But she's back 10 years later and in a tag team match with CM Punk. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. And I mean, it was set up perfectly. I mean, Seth was just in the rafters, brought out Becky and their power couple and whatever. CM Punk came out, called out Seth Rollins for being a coward, hiding behind his wife. His wife is the only one that's in CM Punk's face, slapping him. Meanwhile, Seth Rollins has hired a whole faction. He's got Paul Heyman, he's got Bronson Reed, he's got Braun Breaker, and his own wife, Becky Lynch, to protect him from CM Punk. And that's when Becky kept laying the hands on CM Punk. And he said, look, I never hit a lady. My sister could come jump you, which would be interesting. Bailey, I could call up Bailey, which that was a bit of a weird one, because unless you see him on social media, you don't know that him and Bailey are really close as friends. So it didn't really work for TV, but it makes sense. But then he said I could call up Rhea Ripley, and I was praying it wasn't Rhea Ripley. We all thought it was going to be Rhea Ripley. And I think WWE knows, we all would have left. We all would have went, nah. Not happening. But then the moment happened. AJ Lee, let's light it up, light it up, light it up, light it tonight. She came out, got a big eruption. It's a shame that the arena wasn't that big, because we could have got a louder pop, man. We really could have. It was loud, don't get me wrong. It was loud. But man, this at a PLE. And the sad part about returns is that we see them coming now. We have social media where things get leaked. This wasn't necessarily leaked, but this was predicted. Some of us have been fans for so long, we can see things coming sometimes. And sometimes it's just written in the stars. We do just expect everything now, and I feel like the only thing we didn't expect was Brock Lesnar coming back. But even then, that was ruined for me by going on social media the morning after, before I'd even watched it, and seeing that Brock Lesnar came back. That was ruined for me. So returns, WWE really have to work hard to keep something a secret. Like Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, AJ Lee, these were the three biggest returns in the last God knows how long. None of them were a secret. We all expected and wanted them to happen. But regardless, they're great for a reason, because it's not just the shock factor we need them to be here. AJ Lee was an elite performer in her time, and she's going to put on bangers. Becky, by the way, can we talk about the levels she is taking this mid-card title? Right now, the Women's Intercontinental Championship is the biggest, most talked about title in all of women's wrestling. Not the WWE Women's Championship, not the World Heavyweight Championship, not the Women's United States Championship, not the NXT Women's Championship, not the North American Championship, not the Women's Speed Championship, not the Women's Tag Team titles, not the TNA Knockout Champion, not the Women's Champion on AEW. Literally, Becky with that IC title, because she had a legendary storyline with Lyra Valkyria and Bailey, and then she had a great match with a legend Nikki Bella, and now she's having a great storyline with CM Punk and AJ Lee. Are we witnessing the Hall of Fame worthy matches Becky Lynch is lining up and putting on with the new mid-card title that no one cared about 6 months ago? If only they replicated this for the Women's United States Championship. Do you get what I mean? Put respect on on her name. I'm so used to saying that. Obviously, we can tell at WrestlePalooza, the big ESPN Netflix event, we're getting John Cena, Brock Lesnar. We're getting Io, Stephanie to crown new Women's World Champion. I think we can tell that we are going to get a mixed tag match. CM Punk, AJ Lee versus Becky said this will be a great feel-good moment. But for me, this flashes back to 2019. Remember when Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans teamed up against Seth and Becky, and then they won and they earned them. I don't know if they won, but this was all after Lacey was chasing the Raw Women's title and Baron was chasing the Universal title, and they got individual shots. This is what I think should happen. Obviously, we know CM Punk, Seth Rollins is going to happen one-on-one for the World Heavyweight Championship. Not sure when. Hopefully just a Crown Jewel or Survivor Series, because I want to see Seth Roman one-on-one at WrestleMania. But after this mixed tag match, regardless of who wins, let's do AJ Becky for that IC title. I'd love it. And I don't care who wins that. Genuinely don't care who wins that. It would be lovely to see AJ Lee with the IC title, but then again, Becky's just so good. She is so good. And you know when Becky comes to the ring and says, I'm the greatest women's wrestler of all time, it's not just me saying it, Sports Illustrated says it. I say it. Everyone says it. There's no debate. Not Trish Stratus, not Lita, not Rhea Ripley, not Chyna. No one. It's not happening. Not Mae Young. Mae Young's not as great as Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is the best women's wrestler of all time. Doesn't matter about your favourite. She might not be your favourite. She's the best. Undebatable. It's fantastic. I love it. And one last thing I want to mention about this return of AJ Lee is the music. AJ Lee was around 2010, 11, 12, 13, right? And she had iconic music for that time. That time in her music, hand in hand, right? It's typical 2010s white girl music, but that is the best era of music. Like that was the peak. Then we started falling off, right? That was the peak. WWE has a habit of ruining good things, especially theme songs. And I feel like the only ones that they couldn't let go was John Cena. It was his own theme. CM Punk, I mean, it literally goes there's no dragging CM Punk. It was probably in his contract. He said, look, if you WWE want to hire me, you keep my theme tune. And Cody Rhodes, do you know what I mean? If they change AJ Lee's because it was old and it was probably made by Jim Johnston, right? And they would go, no, Def Rebel needs to make you one. We're going to have words. Bruce Pritchard, fucking Triple H, fucking Nick Khan, whoever's in charge. You don't ruin it. Just don't. It's a great theme. It works. It works. You ruined Becky Lynch's theme. If it's not broke, don't touch it. Becky had a great theme. A theme you could sing along to. This one, it's a bit harder to sing along to, especially when I can't even understand what they're saying when they're singing that new theme tune. It's ridiculous. But whatever. On the topic of women's mid-card titles, Julia finally defended the title. We finally had something to do with the Women's United States Champion. It's a shame. We said Chelsea Green was wasted as a champion because she had great potential. And when she was on TV, she was killing it. But they barely defended the title. Then Zelina Vega won it. And we thought, okay, good change. Zelina Vega's good in the ring. She's very good on the mic. She just needs more main star character, more aura, essentially. And what did WWE do? Barely defend the title. Now Julia's won it and we thought, okay, Julia is a star. We see the potential. She came at NXT, she took over, she was gone in a few months, she's up on the main roster. Potential. Here we go. Doesn't defend the title. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So eventually, last week when Michin earned it, now she got the title shot. She didn't win, but as to be expected, we don't expect Michin to win the title. We don't expect Julia to lose it anytime soon because there's nothing interesting going on. And I pray to God to do something interesting because, look, I said this before, there's a Raw and Smackdown divide, right? The Women's Intercontinental Championship division is 10 times better than the Women's United States title division. The Men's United States title division is 10 times better than the Men's Intercontinental title division. The Men's Tag Team division on SmackDown is way better than the Raw Men's Tag Team division, right? The Women's Tag Team division is across all brands, so it kind of works, but it still isn't great, right? The Women's World Heavyweight title division was, until she got injured, was better than the WWE Women's title division. And the World Heavyweight Championship division is 10 times better than the WWE Championship division. For some reason, we can't have both. It's either one or the other, and it's ridiculous. Just defend the title. It's as simple as that. I had a great match. There was great moments where the crowd was like, oh, because they weren't that into it, because it was Michi and Julia, and they're not the most popular stars. On a night where we had AJ Lee return with CM Punk and Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, we had John Cena versus Sami Zayn with Brock Lesnar coming out. No one could care about Julia and Michi, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. There's plenty of their stars that didn't put on this show because they didn't want that exact thing to happen where people aren't caring. The only things they had were matches to entertain people, which was this United States title match, and which was maybe the culmination, well, not the culmination of the feud, actually, of Damian Priest and Aleister Black. I mean, they had a great match. It started with Aleister Black attacking Damian Priest, and they were fighting for a while. Aleister was dominating until Damian came back and really, really beat the shit out of Aleister Black. He hit the crucifix on the table. Aleister didn't go through people one more time. He didn't do it. People weren't happy about it. Is what it is. Until Aleister used the ref to distract Damian Priest and hit him with a Black Mass and pinned him. Big win for Aleister Black, but I'm happy because Aleister Black is fantastic in the ring and he can tell a good story because of his character. And they're not done. You can tell they're not done. They want Damian to win the feud. They had Damian win the feud with Drew McIntyre in the most pathetic way. Not in the most pathetic way, just it's pathetic how they didn't carry on. How does Drew McIntyre, the man who speaks all the truth, get hit with a concerto and then just leaves it? Are we okay? Damian won. Not Damian. Aleister won. Happy for him. But for Christ's sake, when we end this feud, because it's reaching the end point now, I think now's a great time to cut it off. Put it on a PLE. Put it on a PLE. We don't need none of this, hyping it up and Smackdown. We don't need none of that. Put it on a PLE. Right, we know you're going to have Damian Priest, just put it on a PLE. Give them their spotlight they deserve. They've been putting in the work in all your shitty storylines. They've been putting in great ring work, great promo work. Put it on a PLE. All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And now, before I get into the last thing I want to talk about, a couple things that happened backstage. I mean, Nick Aldis was obviously very busy throughout the night dealing with Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, CM Punk, John Cena, Brock Lesnar. He was running into a few people and it was taking up his time. I mean, Carmelo Hayes was trying to chase him down for a United States title opportunity because he just saw a United States title match open up the show. And that's when The Miz butted in yet again, getting in the way of Carmelo Hayes and asked for a tag team title match. And that's when Nick Aldis said he'll consider it. So instead of ending up with a solos United States title opportunity, Carmelo Hayes' supposed partner has butted in and instead got them a tag team opportunity, which is not what Carmelo Hayes wanted in the first place. And again, it's adding to that story of The Miz is pretending to build Carmelo Hayes up when actually he's just keeping him down, and Carmelo Hayes could literally shine on his own. And again, it seems pointless because the Street Profits just beat Melo and Miz last week to earn the title opportunity at Clash in Paris, just for next week, Miz and Carmelo Hayes to go, well, we want a shot, and you'll go, okay, I'll think about it. They didn't need to do that match then, did they? And it didn't need to be on Clash in Paris. I'll say this till I die, it didn't need to be on Clash in Paris. Nothing significant happened. Don't put it on Clash in Paris. We wanted AJ Dom. What are you doing? Right? So stupid. And the only other thing backstage, obviously, was Tiffany doing an interview talking about Jade was trying to take a title because they've got a title match next week and she's not going to do it, yada, yada, yada. And Jade Cargill was backstage watching it and she was mad about it. That's when Nia Jax walked in and went, didn't you lose? And then Jade went, but didn't you lose? Sorry, Nia didn't just lose. Nia lost like 4 times. Can we leave it? Jade, Tiffany, fine, run it back one more time because Jade lost once. And I understand that there is literally just Tiffany, Jade and Nia on the SmackDown Women's roster right now because Bianca's out for injury. Loads of people on Raw are out for injury, like Liv and Naomi was pregnant and all this sort of stuff, right? And there's literally just Rhea, Io, Stephanie on NXT, but can we do something different? My God, we are sick of Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton. For a second, I had hope. Because Nia Jax went to NXT. She was fighting Thea Hale. She was fighting Lash Legend. Apparently, that just lasted 2 weeks. There was a random nothing 2-week feud with Lash Legend. What was that about? Keep Nia over there. Keep her away from Tiffany Stratton. They've been feuding this whole reign, and that's what's made Tiffany's reign so boring. And the fact that I wanted Jade to win it, SummerSlam, to switch it up a bit. But seriously, if your superstars are not scheduled to return anytime soon, call some people up from NXT. Do some brand swaps. Maybe put your lower talent that you aren't using, use them in the main event division. I know Alexa and Charlotte are tag team champions. It doesn't mean they can't have a match with Tiffany Stratton. Alexa, Tiffany Stratton would go off. How about Chelsea Green? You've put her over on NXT as if NXT women's division isn't already stacked. She's barely competing in that women's division. Give Chelsea Green a shot at Tiffany Stratton. People love Chelsea Green. My God, B-Fab, Candice LeRae, all doing nothing. Nikki Cross, what a killer story that would be. The Wyatt Six going after Tiffany Stratton. That would be great. Use it. Think about it. Come on, man. Doesn't make sense. Some people, genuinely, the planning gets on my nerves. It feels like if they're not someone that can put on the front of a cover and it will sell, then they don't care. And it's just ridiculous because how do you think they get on the front of the cover? Because you give them the opportunity to. You're not giving them the opportunity. Nikki Cross is in the Wyatt Six. But when was the last time she had a match? When? You couldn't tell me. Exactly. I think the last time she probably had a match was when she was Nikki ASH. And that was a terrible gimmick. Yeah, that was the gimmick you give her a world title for. It just makes no sense to me. It genuinely makes no sense to me. So, for Christ's sake, let's not do Nia Tiffany. Maybe if Jade wins the title, do Jade Nia one time, but I'm bored of it. Get Bianca back. I'm pretty sure she broke her finger. Why has she been out for 4 months with a broken finger? Can't you compete with a broken finger? I don't know. It might be serious. I've got no clue. But for me, in my head, I thought a broken finger wasn't that bad. Why has she been out 4 months? We need Bianca Belair. There's nothing going on over here. Come on, man. Anyways, I believe the only other thing to talk about is what opened up the show. John Cena back. And he said this was his last time on Smackdown, which was ironic because Smackdown is where he debuted. And he debuted in Chicago, in that very same city, I believe in that very same building, 23 years before. 23, well, not to the day, but 23 years before, in Chicago, he debuted on SmackDown, slapping Kurt Angle in the face and having that amazing debut. And over the years, Chicago is not giving him... Oh, I'll just turn my phone on silent, apparently. Over the years, Chicago has not given him the most respect. Obviously, he's feuded with the likes of CM Punk and all that. But yeah, he was just thanking the fans, essentially, and saying it's his last time on SmackDown. I understand now the next few dates. I believe he has 6 dates left. He has 8, I think, or 7. He has WrestlePalooza, Crown Jewel, Survivor Series, his last match at Saturday night's main event, and then 3 Monday Night Raws. So 7 dates left. Not a lot. So there's really not a lot of time to plant any seeds. That's guaranteed 4 matches, and we know one of them is WrestlePalooza. So the PLE's guaranteed 3 matches. I believe his last match should be Edge. WWE should put the effort in to get Edge. And then in those 2 matches, I couldn't tell you who he should face. I think Seth should be one of them personally. And then maybe AJ Styles, maybe Roman Reigns. I can't think of anyone else who would suit it, really. If Kevin Owens was here, I would have said Kevin Owens. Maybe Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre would be a good match for him. I don't know. But then there's also those Monday Night Raws. Maybe if on those Monday Night Raws he could have matches, that would be great. Do you know what I mean? Because he's been doing it a lot recently where he's showing up to SmackDown and he's having matches. He had a tag team match with Cody Rhodes against, I believe, Drew McIntyre. It was Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, wasn't it? And now he just had a match with Sami Zayn. Because Sami Zayn came out and got booed, by the way. Sami Zayn, the ultimate babyface, getting booed by Chicago because they didn't want to hear from Sami Zayn. They were here for John Cena. They were here for CM Punk. They were here for AJ Lee. And this is what I said. They're going to kill the superstars. But Sami Zayn is great and managed to keep the crowd controlled with the help of John Cena. And Sami Zayn said, it's also ironic that you're saying this is where you debuted and now it's your last time on SmackDown because 10 years ago, when I debuted on a main roster, it was to challenge you, John Cena, in the US Open Challenge. Now, 10 years later, when you are leaving WWE, I am the United States Champion. So first thing he wants to do is ask John Cena's permission to carry on the United States Open Challenge. This is what mid-card champions should do. They should defend all the time. World championships are more prestigious, not just because we say they are, but because it takes a lot more to win it. The mid-card title, if it is worth less, should be defended more. Surely, makes sense, whatever. But John Cena obviously granted that permission, and I'm glad it happens. But he also said he wanted to repay the favour for everything he's done for the fans, for all the people in the back, and for giving Sami that match on his debut. He said, look, you gave me the match for the US title on my debut. Let me give you a match for the US title on your way out. Not in a month's time, not next week. Let's do it now. And they did. And you know what? I was so excited, right? I didn't care who won. I didn't care if John Cena left the United States champion. I didn't care if Sami Zayn left the United States champion. I didn't care if John Cena got the pin. I didn't care if Sami Zayn got the pin. I was happy to see John Cena in a match. I was happy to see John Cena in a match on Smackdown with Sami Zayn, someone who if you said on his retirement tour, would you want him to face Sami Zayn? Absolutely. Absolutely. It wasn't a Logan Paul, no disrespect, but literally they've just been saving him for all the big clickable moments, and it's just like, it's not what we want. And more tributes happened in this match. I mean, at Clash in Paris, we had the Cesaro, we had the Ziggler, we had the AJ Styles. In this one, we had the Kurt Angle, and we had Baron Corbin at Clash in Paris as well. We had Kurt Angle, we had CM Punk. I mean, he wrestled CM Punk anyway, so this wasn't a tribute that we needed, but he hit a GTS, he hit a Angle Slam. I believe he hit something else, I can't remember now. Who else did he He tributed Edge, he did the Edge Spear, which Michael Cole saying, tributing Roman Reigns. It's Edge! He was doing the thing. But most importantly, he tributed Kevin Owens. Why most importantly? First of all, he's my GOAT. Kevin Owens is my current favourite after John Cena. Second of all, John Cena and Kevin Owens had a great feud, and that was a match that absolutely would have happened if Kevin Owens was healthy. And also, it's against Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens' brethren, so that match that tribute made sense. And I was happy to see John Cena hit these moves. First of all, shows how versatile he is. Second of all, my favourite guy hitting some of my favourite moves. I mean, I love an End of Days. I love a pop-up powerbomb. John Cena's just hit all the nails on the head for me on this retirement tour, genuinely. I think the only thing that he hasn't done on this retirement tour that I would have liked him to is win that Intercontinental Championship and then had a match with maybe Seth, Edge, and AJ Styles. Genuinely, that's the only other things I want from John Cena. And it could have happened. And to be honest, John Cena winning the United States title could have been a great thing, because he could have dropped it at WrestlePalooza in a week or two anyway to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar being a mid-card title, doing a US Open challenge every week, destroying people, would be amazing. Do you not think? Right? That would be cool. Right? John Cena being a 6-time United States champion, holding it just for a week, collecting titles on his last year. Come on, makes sense, right? But that's fine, even if that didn't happen. Sami remained champion. Sami just won it a week or two ago. He deserves to still be champion. He deserves to have a win over John Cena, but neither of that happened. Brock Lesnar got involved, launched the ref out the ring. The title, this is a return, but we knew he was coming back. He F5'd Sami Zayn out the equation and then hit about 2 or 3 F5s on John Cena. Walked out saying, "See you at WrestlePalooza," which was the most craziest thing to hear from Brock Lesnar, because it is a stupid name. So to hear it come out of Brock Lesnar's mouth, it really blows my mind. I'm proud he said it right though, because I wouldn't expect Brock Lesnar to care about something like that. But the weird part was they just called the match off. Like, it's so obvious what they're doing. Like, they need to stick to their script. If they say, you can get disqualified, you can get counted out, and your ref will come down when ref's injured. If these things happen in regular matches, they need to continue to happen. What should have happened is another ref came down, and either one of them could have got the pin, or they could have carried on, or someone could have got disqualified. But no, they just called it off. You can't change the procedure just to match the story. You have to angle that differently, you know. I don't know. It didn't make sense that they just called it off. They should have had a ending like a disqualification, or Sami saying that you shouldn't have F5 Sami, and he should have F5 John like 2 or 3 times, and then Sami come and took the pin. I don't know. Didn't like the ending of it. I liked what it was though, and I said I wasn't bothered who wins, so I'm not that bothered. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm just happy that it happened. But yeah, we always slate SmackDown. I mean, I've always liked SmackDown. I always said I bleed blue, and I'm always optimistic about SmackDown because they always seem to get the right talent. Like, for me, they always have the better talent, and the show just isn't given as much love by the WWE and the higher-ups who invest in the company. It's just always been the B brand, and it's been treated as such. I feel like if it was given the same attention as Monday Night Raw, it would blow it out the absolute water, and I genuinely mean that. And this week it showed it. This week showed the potential. It's not just because of the big star power, it's the matches as well. Damian Priest, Aleister Black was great. Julia and Meacham were wanted for ages. John Cena having a match on SmackDown with Sami Zayn in a US Open Challenge. Fantastic. This week, Monday Night Raw was the worst of all 3 brands. Then NXT was pretty decent. every week, and SmackDown was exceptional. The best thing about NXT is the fact that it's consistent. It's got consistent, decent shows. Monday Night Raw normally has great shows, but this week it was bad, so one-off week. SmackDown usually are alright. They're just a bit mediocre at times, and sometimes they're a drag. But this is great. I think SmackDown being 2 hours with the talent they have is absolutely necessary. So, yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.